In the bustling city of Pisa, Italy, on a February day in 1564, a child was born who would one day be called the father of modern science. His name was Galileo Galilei, a boy destined to challenge the wisdom of centuries and reshape humanity's view of the universe. From a young age, Galileo displayed an insatiable curiosity. His father, a musician and mathematician, encouraged him to think critically, rather than accept traditions blindly. As a boy, Galileo often watched the swinging lamps in the Cathedral of Pisa and noticed something extraordinary. No matter how wide or narrow the swing, the rhythm stayed nearly the same. This simple observation led him to study pendulums, and years later, his insight would contribute to the development of accurate clocks. Though his family wished him to study medicine, Galileo's heart belonged to mathematics and natural philosophy. He immersed himself in the works of Archimedes and Euclid, fascinated not by treating the sick, but by uncovering the hidden rules that govern nature. His sharp mind quickly gained him attention, and soon he was lecturing on mathematics, mechanics, and astronomy. Galileo's genius lay not only in abstract thought, but also in experiment. He refused to accept claims without testing them. When philosophers said that heavier objects fall faster than lighter ones, Galileo doubted it. According to legend, he dropped balls of different weights from the Leaning Tower of Pisa, showing that they landed together. Whether the story is fact or myth, it captured the truth of Galileo's spirit. He trusted observation and experiment over authority. But his most revolutionary discoveries came when he turned his gaze to the heavens. In 1609, he heard of a curious invention from the Netherlands, a device that could make distant objects appear near. With his own hands, Galileo crafted a more powerful version of this spyglass. When he pointed it at the sky, the universe itself unfolded in ways no one had ever seen. He saw mountains and craters on the moon, proving it was not a smooth, perfect sphere as philosophers claimed. He discovered countless stars invisible to the naked eye, and he marveled at the cloudy ribbon of the Milky Way, now revealed as a sea of stars. Most astonishing of all, he observed 4 small moons orbiting Jupiter, proof that not everything revolved around the Earth. These revelations shook the foundations of traditional thought. For centuries, the church and scholars had embraced the teachings of Aristotle and Ptolemy, that the Earth stood at the center of the cosmos, unmoving, with the heavens revolving around it. But Galileo's telescope told a different story, one that supported the heliocentric theory of Copernicus, that the Earth itself moved around the sun. Galileo published his findings, and his fame spread across Europe. Yet fame brought danger. The church saw heliocentrism as a threat to its authority, for it seemed to contradict scripture and centuries of tradition. Galileo, however, believed that truth revealed by nature could not conflict with divine wisdom, for both came from God. He argued that the Bible taught how to go to heaven, not how the heavens go. Still, tensions rose. In 1632, Galileo published dialogue concerning the 2 chief world systems, presenting arguments for and against the geocentric and heliocentric models. Though he claimed neutrality, his wit and reasoning clearly favored Copernicus. Enemies accused him of mocking the Pope himself, and soon the Roman Inquisition summoned him to stand trial. In 1633, Galileo, now an old man of 70, faced the full weight of the church. Under threat of torture, he was forced to recant his belief in the Earth's motion. Broken but not silenced, he is said to have whispered the defiant words, "Eppur si muove," and yet it moves. Whether legend or truth, the phrase became a symbol of courage against dogma. Condemned, Galileo spent the rest of his life under house arrest, but even in confinement his mind soared. He continued writing, producing works on motion and mechanics that laid the foundation for Newton's laws. Blind in his later years, he dictated his thoughts to devoted students, ensuring his vision endured. Galileo died in 1642, the same year Isaac Newton was born, as if the torch of discovery passed from one genius to another. Though silenced in life, his ideas could not be chained. Centuries later, the church would formally acknowledge his greatness, but by then, the world already knew. Galileo had changed everything. His story is one of courage, curiosity, and the relentless pursuit of truth. Against tradition, against authority, against the darkness of ignorance, Galileo pointed his telescope to the sky and invited us all to see the universe as it truly is. And so, the boy from Pisa who watched a swinging lamp became the man who moved the heavens.